How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of Fox Farm up in this piece in the form of their Leeway. Yeah. This is a farmhouse ale with sea salt, coriander, and citrus. This comes courtesy of my boy Max. He actually sent this off. I got it a couple weeks ago. I was planning to save this for when my buddy Keith was around. We had a bunch of beers last weekend, and this just didn't get opened. And I'm kind of in the mood for a beer like this. So, sorry, Keith. Here we go. This is from batch 1, and it is from June 2020. And it says, from the soils come the spoils. Our Goza-inspired farmhouse ale begins with a base of Connecticut-grown wheat and barley, followed a primary fermentation in stainless steel with our farmhouse mixed culture. It's allowed to further develop in our American oak foeders. Thoughtful additions of freshly ground coriander, pink Himalayan sea salt, and a blend of fresh grapefruit, lime, and orange peel are added along the way before allowing time to naturally carbonate in the bottle. Yeah. Coming in at a hefty 4.2% alcohol by volume. Label-wise, it's Fox Farm. It's a nice textured label, classy, nothing too fancy. Yeah, I dig it. Let's see how this sucker goes. Very light in color. Very not hazy. Kind of more like table beers. Nah, that's spot on old school Goza coloration. I thought it was going to be a little bit clearer, but it has a soft, subtle haziness to it. That little bit of wheat kind of haze to it. There was a white could be head on there that dissipated infinitely quickly. So there's really not much left to the beer. Like I said, label-wise, I dig it. But yeah, I mean, it looks like a tart little jammer. That's exactly what that looks like. So yeah, off to a good little start here. See if we can get a nose. Yeah, I mean, it smells more like mixed culture kind of soft farmhouse ale. There is that kind of minerality, that little bit of salinity you're getting from that sea salt. And that citrus is almost a yeast-driven thing for me. It comes off more like a kind of Brett C kind of thing as opposed to an addition of all those kind of citrus rinds. But it smells bright, smells summery, smells citrusy, smells like a beautiful little chugger. I think it's going to be a little bit tart, though. Let's dive in. Cheers. Oh, that's nice. Man. That's pretty. I mean, really, what are we dealing with here? We're dealing with one of the better lower ABV kind of farmhouse kind of terroir-inspired kind of breweries right now, and they nail this. I mean, this definitely has those kind of soft, old-school, not over-the-top, not Americanized, not American bastardized kind of Goza, where you have that little bit of subtle tartness, that nice soft salinity to it, and when you add that added component of those citrus skins in there, it just elevates what would be a little citrus-leaning kind of vibe to the beer, and just kind of elevates it to just next level. It's just super... It's aggressively tiny, if I can say that. And I actually want to say, I can see a little bit of coriander floating around there. I don't know if that's just bubbles. No, that's particulate. Very, very small, though. No, that is carbonated. Very cool looking beer. I wish you guys can kind of actually see it from the top down. That's the way the carbonation is playing in this. But yeah, look at how nice and crisp and clear that is. And when I said it's like aggressively, aggressively tiny, aggressively soft, it is kind of not a jarring beer, but it has a little bit of zip to it, a little bit of zest, for the lack of a better word. But it's at the same time drinkable. It's not over the top. It's tart. There's a little bit of soft acidity to it, but there's a nice mouthfeel to it. And it just finishes what you'd expect, like an old school Goza to kind of lean into, which is that soft little tartness, that crisp kind of zippiness that you get, that salt kind of adds to a beer. and just how welcoming it is, while at the same time being relatively aggressive. And I keep saying like old school Goza, because a lot of people think of Goza nowadays, they think about just the Americanized version of it, which is like tons of fruit here and lactose there and all kinds of adjuncts. You know, pretty much Goza was just very soft, very minimal beer. It was trying to showcase that soft tartness in combination with that coriander from the kind of smaller beer kind of standpoint. And this beer does that on just a slightly larger scale, but then adds that little bit of citrus peel kind of zest to it, which brings out this whole nother level of beer. So yeah, this is just super tasty stuff. Is it the best Fox Farm, like, low ABV beer I've had? I've had ones better than this. I'm not the biggest Goza guy in the world. I'm not going to sit here and gaga and fall in love with this beer, but I think it's quite tasty. I think it's quite nice. It's hitting the spot 1 billion%. For this style, though, is it one of the better? Let's just cut to the chase, because that pretty much explained the beer. You know, you're talking about that nice kind of softer mouthfeel, tart zippiness from that kettle sour and the salt, nice kind of citrus rind that elevates what I believe is a little bit of yeastiness, kind of propping up that citrus too, and a really nice, clean, drinkable, while pretty aggressive kind of package. Is this one of the better Gozas that I've had as of late? Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Is it one of the better Fox Farms? Like I said, small, little, tiny beers? Maybe not. You know what I mean? Like I said, there's some that do a little bit better for me, but as far as Gozas go, this is kind of top-notch stuff. Value and availability, I have no idea. Max, what did you pay for this? And leave you with, if you like what, will you like this beer? If you like Gozas, traditional Gozas, you like well-made, low ABV, farmhouse, terroir-based kind of beer, because this is not just a kettle sour. There's a malt base here that is inherent to this region. There is a yeast that has to be derived from that area. So if you're into kind of terroir-based beers, small little mixed culture beers, and just really well-done beers, you will like this. There you go. Another little review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check Matt doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check Matt doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice little bottle of Leeway right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.